Welcome back to Autodesk Maya. In this tutorial we're going to explore the different ways you can view objects in your scene. So they have the hotkey of 4, 5, 6, and 7. Currently we're in the view mode, which is called the wireframe mode. So if I had the defaults view, which is 5, which is shaded solid, it would look like this. If I hit number 4, you can go in wireframe. So what might be the purpose of using a wireframe mode? Well, for one thing, it performs much faster without any kind of textures or materials applied to the objects. It also allows you to see inside the object. So if you're selecting an object and you're trying to grab the individual vertice point, for example, this actual vertex here, sometimes it's hard to see through that object to select that. Almost impossible to see when you're in shaded solid mode. So that is the purpose of the wireframe. Now again, by default it's a shaded solid to give you kind of an example of an image here that basically has a sort of shaded quality. You can definitely see a material's color if you have a material applied to a certain object, or if you have the default material like this cone here. Then again, that's number 5. If you hit number 6, you get what's the textures, any texture maps that are applied. So if I rotate to the sphere here, there's an actual texture map applied to the sphere. So it has, a shaded solid looks like this. Again, if I hit number 6, you got texture. So this texture map has a color map and a bump map. So especially from a distance, it gives the illusion of this texture, sort of tactile quality. And then finally, number 7 will give you the lighting. We're going to turn off the default lighting. So if I click on any of these lights here, let's click on this one. This is really the source light, and hit E. As I rotate this this light kit, let's find a good angle here. You'll see how the lighting of this scene really changes drastically. If we angle it down, for example, we're going to get some nice shadows in here. So again, that is 4 for wireframe, 5 for shaded solid, 6 for texture, and 7 for lighting. Let's go ahead and render this current frame just to see what it looks like. It's rendering in another viewfinder here, but you'll be able to see it in just momentarily. So I'll just pause for a second while it's rendering. So here's the actual render from this using the Autodesk renderer. So you can see in this material here that this particular object is not visible in the scene, and it's because the renderer doesn't always render everything in the scene. So this is a skin shader that has what's called subsurface scattering applied to it, where you get that feeling of luminosity, where you can see translucent quality of the light hitting it. Notice also that the sphere here is quite a bit better renderer than this, and not quite as bumpy as we would expect. And then the other two objects have extra shines, and then the shadows being cast. So the default renderer doesn't really show us everything in our scene until you actually render an actual image. So I did want to share that with you. So that's the basic overview again of the 4 views. You have 4 for wireframe, 5 for shaded solid, 6 for texture, and 7 for lighting. Until next time, see you soon in Autodesk Maya. Cheers!